How's it going, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to say thank you, everybody across the board, for helping to make this channel possible. We're slowly creeping up on 1,300 subscribers, so thank you, everybody across the board. If you like what you see and you enjoy the content, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, comment in the comment section below, and hit the bell to receive notifications. I do have an eBay store called the Carolina Collector 001, where I'm selling loose sports cards and various other items from time to time. So thank you so much, everybody across the board. So if you haven't noticed by now, I'm wearing my newest hat, which is my Charlie Kirk hat, which is based off of Trump's MAGA hat. You know, I'm not exactly a trad con or a traditional Republican. I'm more or less a libertarian that has traditional conservative beliefs, but I'm a very live and let live type of guy, man. This morning, I saw something very odd here on YouTube that I've never seen before. And I'm going to get into why I actually support this particular thing that YouTube seems to be enforcing and rolling out. So last night, unfortunately, I had a rough night. You know, as you all know, I've talked about it here on the channel. I suffer from chronic insomnia. And last night, you know, I sat here on the patio and tried to put myself to bed. It wasn't happening. So I decided to do a Transformers video, which I uploaded today, which is the video prior to this one. YouTube would not allow me to upload it. This has never happened before. I wasn't banned. I have no community guidelines violations, no channel strikes, no any of that stuff. My channel is clean across the board. But it would not allow me to upload this video. I guess probably because of the subject matter, because this is an adult collector's channel. I talk about hats, sneakers, toys, jerseys, all that sort of thing. So when I tried to upload this video, it wouldn't allow me to do it. A disclaimer popped up on my phone and on my computer inside where it wanted me to verify my age, which, in my opinion, to tell you the truth, I have no problem with. And I have a feeling they're going to roll this out. This is going to be ubiquitous throughout YouTube, and I'm all for it. And I'll tell you why. And I have multiple reasons why I believe this should be implemented. Though many people may disagree, because we do have a First Amendment, we do have a right to privacy, but at the same time, as crazy as this world has become, well, all you have to do is understand what happened with this young fella. And people like Andy know. You look at Schlep in the Roblox space. I've talked about that here on YouTube, where you have a lot of creepers that are out there. So this is why I am more pro than con when it comes to this issue. So there are 4 different ways to actually do this on YouTube. You either go through the AI and you take a photo of your face. Then you can either use your driver's license, debit card, credit card, or a valid email address, which you have to go through the verification process and all that kind of stuff. But I chose the facial recognition thing, so it instantly approved me. But what I thought was funny is that it made me take off my reading glasses when I did that, because they don't want you covering your face at all. I guess that's built into the AI, which to me, that's fine. Unfortunately, you do have a lot of channels that are here on YouTube where people are concealing their identities and hiding their faces because, in fact, a lot of them are cyberbullies and cyber stalkers. I've been the victim of this for almost 10 years now, where I've had death threats sent to me. The names of my family were attached to photos of myself. I've had people call the leasing office in the apartment complex where I used to live. I'm not surprised if they haven't done it here where I live already. That's probably why they were treating me like the way I was in the office, because people were probably spewing lies about me. They doxed my now former best friend that I've known for almost 10 years with all sorts of bullshit and garbage about me. So I've been a victim of this for a long time. I literally have a stack of police cards from not just my local town PD here, but from Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police. My car was vandalized because of my Trump stickers. I was on the news 2 times because of that. And a lot of other things, you know, and you know, you saw what happened with Charlie Kirk. I don't even have to get into that. Andy No is a good example of this, and all you have to do is just look at the Roblox space, which I've discussed here on the channel, where a young fellow who goes under the pseudonym Schlep was trying to do the right thing to keep certain people out of that platform and out of that game. And what did Roblox do in return for doing a good deed? Don't you just love that stuff when you're the good guy, the powers that be come after you? Don't you love that shit? Oh, believe me, I know what that feels like quite a bit. You know, you can give out food and sneakers and clothes and stop people from running out their life meter, if you understand what I'm saying, like what happened with my friend Robert Hummel, aka Wolf, right here in my home. You know, when you're the good guy, people are going to spit in your face because now you're a do-gooder, and some people get offended by that. But you look at what Schlepp did to try to expose these people from preying on our littlest, most innocent victims, and Roblox came after him with a C&D, cease and desist order. Imagine that. Isn't that lovely when you're the good guy and the forces that be, because you outshined them and outdid them in doing their job for them, that they get offended by that kind of thing? Oh, believe me, I know what that feels like, folks. So they rolled out this verification program to verify everybody's age. I don't engage in subterfuge. You see my face, you hear my voice. I don't do any of that weird robot stuff and AI crap here on the channel. All my content is original. I do all the editing, the filming, I do all the thumbnails, all of that kind of stuff. But I don't make any attempt to conceal who I am. What you see is what you get, basically. But we do have a lot of crazed lunatics that are out there, unfortunately, that use these platforms to publicly humiliate, shame, prey on innocent people, especially when it comes to our littlest innocent victims that are out there. And for me, I'm all for it. I know a lot of the conspiracy theorists are going to say, oh, look out, the government's trying to track your movements, they're trying to spy on you and all that kind of stuff. There is an air of truth to that. But for me, from what I've seen when it came to this verification thing, they just want to make sure that the face fits either the content or the subject matter or the channel, what have you. So I don't take any offense to it at all. Hey, listen, if I have to verify my face and excuse me, if my face matches the content, basically, well, there you go. Because again, I don't engage in subterfuge. What you see is what you get, especially since we're talking about collectibles here on the channel. Some little kid may stumble on here knowing how the fear mongers and the people that panic and all that kind of stuff will go out there and all this stupid stuff. You really have to be extra careful these days, unfortunately. But we do have a lot of weirdos that are out there that they do prey on women, they do prey on kids, and I'm all for it. So again, I chose the facial recognition with the AI to go through all of that. And once I did that, the video uploaded. It's up right now, live on my YouTube channel. You guys and gals can go watch that yourselves. But what I think I may do from now on is put a disclaimer in the beginning of every video I upload from now on, saying that this is an adult channel, not meant for kids under 14 or something like that. I have to check what the age range is as to why they did this in the first place. But I fear that this is going to be the beginning, because now what I've been hearing in Europe is that they're doing away with VPNs, or at least they're trying to ban VPNs. They're trying to do away with Kodi on the Amazon Fire Stick, or apps that people can illegally watch sports and movies and things. So they're really starting to clamp down on this sort of thing, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody has a right to protect themselves and protect their identities. I don't need strangers showing up at my front door coming after me. Thank God here in North Carolina, no matter what the powers that be say, I have the right to engage in my Second Amendment right to self-defense. Should anybody breach my home, I have the right to exercise lethal force. That is a fact. You don't want to go that route, but I have that ability to do so if I so needed to. But, thank God for self-control, that every situation is different and you have to know when to hold them, when to fold them. All right? Really good song, by the way, with Kenny Rogers. So with all this being said, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't have a problem with this. I look at guys like Schlepp. He's a young fella, not really political or anything like that, but he has an ethical and moral compass, an ethical and moral center. And him and his buddies were trying to expose these people for trying to catch the fish, so to speak, if you understand the metaphor, and he did the right thing. And what did he get for his effort? A cease and desist letter. And that's what happens with the powers that be, because they are irresponsible with monitoring this sort of thing. And Schlepp did the right thing, and he's got the full support of this channel as far as I'm concerned. Just like Andy Ngo, how he receives death threats, how people network online, they conceal their faces, they use VPNs. And when all these riots are happening across the country, these people are concealing their faces and wearing all black and all that kind of stuff. And what do? They start lighting police vehicles on fire. They start, throwing rocks. They throw Molotov cocktails. They do all this crazy stuff. And in some ways, YouTube and other platforms must be held accountable to that. that they should not be allowed to be concealing their faces. They want ICE agents to take their masks off, but they'll allow Antifa and BLM and these crazed leftists to wear masks. How do you love that kind of hypocrisy? Isn't that disgusting? But anyway, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling that this is going to be required here on YouTube. This was the first time I've ever seen anything like that on this channel. And then I did go through the motions, and again, that previous video finally uploaded like that. So I have no problem with it. I think our kids should be protected from really bad actors out there. You do have a lot of people that are, not all up there. And that's pretty much it, folks. I mean, some of you may disagree with that, but in my opinion, when it comes to protecting kids, you will never get an argument out of me. Some of you may feel that the government is violating your privacy, but look at what this world is turning into. And I've said it multiple times here as a hobbyist channel that human nature, unfortunately, is de-evolving to such a point that, we're going to start, I guess, sticking our fingers in our rear ends and sniffing it. You see what's on TV these days with these riots and stuff like that, where now the National Guard has to be called out, where the police are protecting the bad actors now, in particular in Portland. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all for this. I'm all for them rolling this out. You may disagree with me. You may not, agree with what they're doing. But at the same time, after what happened with Schlepp, and how Roblox went after him legally with a cease and desist, with a C&D, because he exposed these predators, these creatures. Shame on them. Good for you, Schlepp. Good for you. And good for people like Andy No. Unfortunately, what happened with Charlie Kirk is a real tragedy. But, Charlie, when he was alive, talked about it, how he was receiving death threats and all sorts of crazy stuff. And these people need to be exposed. I, myself, am a victim of it myself. When I had the police up here multiple times, I showed them stacks and stacks of printouts that I have, with what people were doing to me, and stacks of police business cards with, photos of my family, that they were using my mother's name, my father's name when he was alive. I mean, it was really sick. These people are very sick. So if you're a YouTube content creator like me and you see the age verification thing being rolled out, for me, again, I'm all for it. I have no problem with it. I fully support the rollout. But I think it's going to go into another level where they're going to start doing away with VPNs and all that kind of stuff. So just get ready for it. I know they're putting this into practice in Europe. If you have Amazon with Kodi or any type of app that you can live stream games, I mean, live games like baseball, football, or soccer, like they call it in Europe, whatever have you, I think they're going to do away with all of that stuff. It's happening right now, folks. We all knew it was coming. It's going to happen. But in this instance, in this case, when it comes to protecting kids, man, I'm all for it. So I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, it's just another form of government control. But unfortunately, people are just out of control today. I should know. I've been a victim of death threats, doxing, and everything else over the years. I know exactly what it feels like. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, just be safe, all right? This world is already out of its mind, and it seems the world around people like myself are just de-evolving to such a point where, you really got to watch your back these days. And the good guy today, unfortunately, is losing. The good guys always lose for some reason, but you got to remain steadfast, remain strong, and just keep going, folks. I mean, that's the name of the game these days. And God knows I've been through it all, man. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Take care, everybody.